Gentlemen, welcome to the Rum and Regret podcast. I'm Andy Drake.
Johanna Myers.
Nate Tussey, and we drink and we know things.
Welcome to the Halloween cast.
Yes.
Yay! Today I think we should talk about our favorite sort of like things that you need to see during this time of year. Because like Christmas, there are a couple of movies that you just have to see during Christmas. Halloween, there are a few movies that I need to see just to sort of get in the spirit of things. And one of those, believe it or not, is Poltergeist. The original Poltergeist.
That's the TV, right?
This house is
TV.
Yeah. That movie fucked me up when I was younger.
Well, as it should be. If you watched that when you were younger, like when I saw Nightmare on Elm Street for the first time, I couldn't sleep right for a month.
Candy
I know.
for me.
Oh, Candyman. Yeah.
Wait, should I say it again?
Candy.
Like Beetlejuice will just appear, right?
All right.
That's funny. Yeah, so where do we start? I guess, well, let's kick it off with a question maybe.
Okay.
Be a good conversation starter.
Okay.
Is The Nightmare Before Christmas a Christmas movie or a Halloween movie? Seems pretty obvious, but I've heard a good debate on this one.
I say both. I watch it both times of the year.
Yeah, I would agree. I had somebody at work call me out, though, and said, Santa's in it. It's a Christmas movie, and he delivers presents. Like, yeah, but he's the Pumpkin King.
And it's Tim Burton and Twisted. And okay, so Disneyland dresses their park up for Halloween as Nightmare Before Christmas. Not
Boom.
Christmas.
From the mouse.
Okay, but doesn't Haunted Mansion stay Nightmare Before Christmas through Christmas?
Does it?
I believe it does.
Ah, fuck. All right, well, there went my...
No, I think that your theory holds true, though. I mean, if they're decorating it for Halloween in that fashion, that's their Halloween property.
Yeah.
Now, I would say that Nightmare Before Christmas is more Halloween than Christmas. I associate it more with Halloween, just because of the main characters and sort of the story.
Mm-hmm.
Even though Santa's in it, I think it's definitely more Halloween. And I think just because there are more Christmas movies out there than quote unquote Halloween movies, ones that actually mention the holiday versus just horror films.
Yeah, I think you got like Nightmare Before Christmas and Hocus Pocus. Those are the two I always hear about.
What about
Right. Yeah.
Well, for Halloween movies.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So that's where I sit on this. It's more Halloween to me, and I have more movies that I associate with Christmas, and Nightmare Before Christmas is sort of one of those sacred sort of Halloween views for me. Yeah.
I have so I'm, as I've said on this podcast before, a huge horror movie fan. Yes. I do have a little delineation of horror movies that are specific to Halloween for me.
Okay.
Versus horror movies that I'll watch any given Tuesday.
Okay.
So for me, it's Halloween. I always have to watch the classics like Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th.
Scream.
Like, no, not Scream. It's good, but it's not, not on that level.
Right.
And then specifically haunting movies for some reason. I leave all the twisted slasher screwed up movies for any given Tuesday.
Yeah. So what now in terms of haunting movies, what are your favorite haunting movies?
Exorcist by far.
Oh, of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
The Haunting actually is one of my favorites. The Hill House movie with
The House on Haunted Hill.
With what's her bucket? Oh God, with Luke Wilson and Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Yeah.
And Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson. Yeah. I was just thinking about that one with the giant statue in the water grabs the. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I've been told by certain people that will remain nameless that I'm not a fan of horror movies. Gave him a ton of shit at the time, but I think he's actually probably right. Maybe I like sci-fi horror movies more than actual horror movies like Alien.
Yeah.
and that kind of thing.
Event Horizon.
Yeah.
Event Horizon is one of my favorite sci-fi horror.
Excuse me. We were actually talking about that the other day. Trying to think, what did we just see recently that reminded us of Event Horizon? And it was the Cloverfield Paradox.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Which was really cool. Not really a horror movie, but just sci-fi kind of mind-bendy stuff. I've never... So as far as movies that you have to watch on Halloween, I'm honestly don't have a list for that. I'm down to watch whatever in general. I didn't watch a whole lot of horror when I was a kid. I did read it at a very inappropriate age, so maybe that turned me off to anything. But just trying to go through my memories of horror movies when I was a kid, Pet Sematary fucked me up pretty bad.
Oh yeah.
Never read the book, which is probably sacrilege, but man, that movie was good. And the other one that I really liked, I think is also Stephen King, was The Cat's Eye.
Yeah.
Do you remember that movie?
I don't remember that.
I do remember that. Yeah.
Trying to kill the kid and the cat.
Right, taking his breath. Right.
Taking his breath, and I think it's the cat taking. Oh, dude.
Okay.
Really good. I'm not sure if it holds up, but.
Dude, on that note, one of the movies that screwed me up as a kid, I saw it in the theaters and I had to leave the theater, was Needful Things.
Oh yeah.
The one where the devil runs the bookstore and he people buy things that are supposed to like help them out, and it turns out screwing them over.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's a horrible, horrible, horrible scene where they do very, very bad things to a dog.
Spoiler alert.
Oh yeah.
And
if you're listening, no real harms were harmed.
No
real dogs were harmed.
But it was enough to make me leave the theater in tears. I was like, and I could not watch that movie for so long.
Like, we need to have a Mystery Science Theater style viewing of that movie.
Right. Yeah.
I did rewatch it again as an adult and made peace with the dog scene, but that was definitely one of those moments that is stuck in my head for my entire life.
Nice.
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah.
You traumatized me for life.
How about you, Andy?
Again, Poltergeist screwed me up when I was younger. Nightmare on Elm Street 2. Also, not Nightmare on Elm Street 2. But then, when all these sequels started coming out and when Freddy became more campy, and obviously I was getting older at the time, so I got, you're getting more used to it. But, no, those two, because there was no filter, like there was the rating system didn't matter in the Drake house growing up. So I had sort of full access to anything I wanted to see.
Brown cow.
We did get the Playboy channel, but that is a topic for another cast, I guess.
Basic instinct all the time.
All right. There a lot of the horror movies I watched, and so I started to get desensitized to it a little bit as I started to watch more and more of them. But Poltergeist was like the one that just got me, and that started my fear of clowns. Of course, we had a tree right outside of my window, which all it took was one sort of storm, to see that tree in sort of a quick flash, and I sort of hunkered down and shut my blinds and everything. So Poltergeist was the one that really messed me up as a kid.
On the quick clown tangent, as far as campy horror movies, Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Candy cocoons and everything. I want to see that movie again because I actually really like that movie for some reason, but the clowns were brutal in that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's a good segue into sort of the guilty pleasure movies that you shouldn't like, but you love.
Wow.
Let me.
Clowns movie.
Yeah. Well, let me start off. So one of my favorite sort of horror movies, but it's not. I wouldn't say it's sort of classic horror, but it definitely falls into the genre. Was Maximum Overdrive.
Oh God, I love that movie.
Yeah. Now the soundtrack alone is fantastic. AC/DC did the whole soundtrack, but I love that movie, and it's so incredibly bad.
Oh yeah.
But it's just it's just an amazing. I don't know if it's something about it just brings me back, and I love watching it, and it's
Curtis.
yeah.
Watching us.
We made you.
The deafening go devil on you, sweetheart.
Yeah.
I don't think I've actually seen this movie.
Oh, for
Oh my
shame!
God, it's the semi trucks that get possessed and round them all up in a Circle K. And
After a comet causes a radiation storm on Earth, machines come to life and turn against their makers.
Yeah.
Carolina truck stop. A group of survivors must fend up for themselves against a mass of homicidal trucks. A diner cook, Bill Robinson, played by Emilio Estevez, emerges as the unlikely leader of the pack, attempting to find an escape plan for himself and the survivors, who includes his boss, Bubba Hendershot, played by Pat Engel, and a newlywed couple. Release date, July 25th, 1986.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, never seen it.
oh God, you gotta watch it.
Man. Yeah, okay, that's your homework, Nate.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you have been given homework to find that movie and watch it.
Oh, it's on Netflix or streaming somewhere.
Yeah.
I watch it at least once a year.
Right, yeah.
Rip off of Carrie. Not Carrie. What am I thinking
Christine.
of? Christine, thank you.
Yeah, it's sort of Christine on steroids.
Huh.
Yeah, because Christine's just a car. This is like every electronic device in the world.
Well, and it's great too because sort of the leader of the possessed trucks is a toy truck that has a Green Goblin mask on it.
I'm looking at the picture right now. That's amazing.
And it is like, and that, being young enough to not really sort of, see what you're looking at, and you see that, and it's just like, wow, I love that movie. I really can't get enough of that movie.
So that sounds like an MST3K moment right there.
Oh yeah.
No, absolutely. Yeah. If at some point when I'm visiting, we should definitely do Maximum Overdrive, because
who does I'm gonna have to take a lap for this, but isn't Lisa Simpson the voice of the Curtis chick?
Right, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh God, she's so great. I love her two pieces in this movie.
Right. Yeah.
I could listen to her scream and wail all freaking day.
Right. Yeah. Another movie that it's not a bad movie by any means. Well, I don't think it's a bad movie by any means, but I associate this with Halloween too, is Clue.
Yeah.
I have to watch Clue this time of year.
1 + 2 + 1 + 1.
Even if that's true, it was 1 + 1 + 2 + 1, not 1 + 2 + 1.
Yeah,
Don't
I guess
tell me you haven't seen it, Nate.
Sorry, I have nothing to say.
Wow.
All right, we need to sit you down.
No, I'm sure I've seen it at some point. I just don't know the quotes from it. God damn it.
Yeah, in that same vein, Rocky Horror, of course.
Yeah, that's something that needs to be watched for me on Halloween.
Yeah.
Like, because I could watch the others sort of leading up to Halloween, but like Rocky Horror is a Halloween sort of tradition.
Oh, speaking of, that just reminded me, and I have not seen this movie since I was a kid, but it was our family childhood Halloween tradition. The Worst Witch with Tim Curry.
Oh, yeah.
Every Halloween we would watch it, and I would just be like, wide-eyed, I love you.
So what about some more contemporary movies, like the new It? That movie freaked me the hell out, but I really liked it. And I was, spoiler alert, I was shocked at how graphic it got so quickly. So I read the book when I was younger, and I'm sure I saw the series at some point, but
I watched the series just before the movie came out, just as a refresher, and it was not that gory. Like when we were sitting in the theater, spoiler alert, when he bites Georgie's arm, I think I actually audibly was like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, I did the same thing.
Like both Mouse and I were like, "Whoa, okay, they're not messing around."
Yeah, they really went for it there.
But,
so, for my shame, I have not seen the new It yet.
What? Oh, God damn it.
And have I given you access to my account with all the movies on it?
No.
Okay, I will send that to you, and it's on there so you can watch it for free.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, well, thank you.
Yeah.
Mazel tov. Did you guys see Get Out?
Yes.
Andrew?
I have not seen Get Out yet either.
What? Oh my
Yeah,
God, it's
I know.
so good. Jordan Peele.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, you have to see that movie, man. It's amazing. Talk about a good contemporary thriller.
Yeah.
Just really well done from beginning to end and broke all kinds of records. It's
Right.
have to see it.
Yeah.
So I ended up watching recently a trifecta of just really strange horror movies. So I watched Darren Aronofsky's Mother with
Ooh,
Jennifer Lawrence.
How was that?
Oh yeah.
Really deep.
Really?
There's a very deep underlying
Yeah.
message
I
to
wanna
that
see
one.
really bad.
It's weird. That like I kept like getting angry and like wanting to fight for Jennifer Lawrence. Like that one, Hereditary, which turned out a lot different than I thought it was going to be.
No spoilers. Was it good?
It was good-ish. Because
Oh.
I was expecting it to be something way different than it was. So afterwards, I was kind of like, okay, what the hell did I just watch? And then the third one was The Witch, which that one I think came out like a while back.
I have that on my list too, and I haven't seen it.
Okay, I'm
I
gonna
heard
warn
that
you.
was creepy as fuck.
I'm gonna warn you. Watch it with subtitles because the whole movie is in that old colonial like.
Oh, really?
Prithee, would thou want me to go return thy butter?
It's hard to follow.
Like, yeah, it took like I watched like 5 minutes of it, and I was like, I have no idea what they just said. I gotta turn on the subtitles, but it is a really good movie.
Well, now I haven't seen this one. How old is this movie?
Oh no, it's the actual poster. It's spelled like The Witch with a W almost. It's two V's, double VITCH.
Okay.
Basically, I haven't seen it, but let me just
Yeah.
from the previews. It's basically these pioneers, or not pioneers even, colonial era family that moves out of town basically into this meadow and tries to build their life there.
Yeah, they get like kicked out of society.
Okay. Yeah, you can tell this better than I can. But apparently they get close to the stomping grounds of this.
Oh yeah,
thing.
this witch.
Yeah.
So they're right outside of a forest that looks very witchy and haunted.
Yeah.
Okay.
And stuff starts happening, and it's not to give too much away, but it's very much like, is it the witch or the family turning on themselves? What's going on? And it's really, really interesting because it's kind of more historically accurate for like the way that witches were perceived back in that time. And it's creepy as fuck too.
Very cool.
Okay.
Yeah, now that I'm going through this list, I'm just looking. I looked up best horror movies on Google, and a unique IP. So, to that end, do you guys have a favorite Halloween or scary movie that wasn't from a book or a show or a comic book or anything like that?
Well, I think here's where I'm going to have to go there on this one. I really, really, really like the Human Centipede.
Oh,
Oh, you want cuttlefish?
you're not allowed to do an Asian accent, Joe.
But yeah, that's one of the oddball ones that I'm like, I have to watch once a year.
Did you see Tusk?
Oh, and I love Tusk.
I didn't see that. How was it?
It's weird. Like, it makes you feel weird.
Wait, worse than Human Centipede?
Well, because there's a very Human Centipede element to it, but it's still very much Kevin Smith and Justin Long, and so you're just like, there's one scene where you're laughing your ass off, and then there's a scene where you're like, oh, dear God.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's amazing. How about you, Andy?
That's a good question. I don't know if there's a movie, but I had I had these books growing up that I always read during this time of year, where the art was just so creepy and so messed up. But I love the art, but I love the stories too. I don't know if you guys remember these books at all, but it was scary stories to tell in the dark, and then more scary stories to tell in the dark.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
And I had those books growing up. I own them. I don't know what happened to them. They're gone now. I don't know where they are, but
I hope I have them in a box somewhere because I had all of them.
yeah. I mean, the art was just so incredibly creepy, but the stories were good too, and it was just something that I loved to read growing up. And I heard, there were a few rumblings here and there that they were going to make a movie, with the short stories and try to do it, but it never came of anything. So
God, I hope it doesn't, because I mean, just there's no way I think you can translate those images into film.
no, I absolutely agree.
The Ready Player One example? Is that what you're saying?
Oh no.
God, I remember reading, I would want to read those books, but they scared me so bad. I would just, look at it and, I had to, pump myself up to read it.
Right.
Just okay, just open the book. Just open it. You don't have to start reading it right now. Just,
Right. Yeah.
Because they were freaky.
Yeah.
So maybe a different... this is one that I really like. It's kind of a guilty pleasure movie, but it's actually really fun, is What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, yeah.
Jermaine Clement from...
Flight of the Conchords.
Flight of the Conchords.
Right. Yeah. Taika Waititi.
The director of Ragnarok.
Right. Yeah.
Trio of vampires, super campy, completely hilarious, and they reference it in Ragnarok when the rock guy, who's voiced by Taika Waititi, is saying, "Hey man, what about this sharp stick?"
Right.
3-pronged stick, and the only thing you could use that of 3 vampires were standing close together. And he's referencing the movie. It's
Okay. I know I never saw that, but somebody was telling me I was like, I'd
so
have
funny.
to see it.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's a who's who of British comedians who have just sort of who were sort of under the radar, but are now getting sort of big, and more noticed. And it's classic. It's a really good movie. It's totally worth it. Yeah.
Yep. And then 3 of my staples and favorite movies ever: Hellraiser 1, 2, and 4.
I could never get into the Hellraiser movies.
I love them.
I think
specifically 1, 2, and 4.
I think I missed
the
boat
rest
on
of them. Eh.
Well, because I don't think there's any way they hold up, right? Should I try them anyway? Because I'm sure I saw one of them. But Pinhead and all that, and it's the Pandora's Box and that kind of
yeah.
thing.
Watch 1 and 2. 1 and 2 are like sequels. It's not anthological or anything like that.
Right.
The 2 is a direct sequel of 1 and follows the same story. If you find after you watch 1 and 2 that you want to watch more, skip to 4.
Okay.
4 is a better movie. Then after 4, if you still want more, then watch 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, however many. But after 4, they just get kind of dumb.
Yeah. Your 1987 is fresh on Rotten Tomatoes at 70.9%.
Yeah, I love the Hellraiser franchise. Those movies specifically were really good. I don't think I've seen past 5, if there is past 5.
I think there is. I know I've seen all of them up until probably 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But there was one that was it was a computer game version one, where there was some rich asshole made a computer game and threw a party, and everybody was there that played the game, and turns out the game was a digital version of the box, and then the Cenobites came and killed everybody.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah.
Great party.
Yeah. So I'm a little shocked with this group that we haven't mentioned a certain movie yet.
Well, bring it out there, big boy.
Evil Dead 2.
Oh
yeah, because all the categories so far have been like things you shouldn't like, and yeah, this is an awesome movie.
How about franchises where every single movie is solid effing gold?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, did you guys watch Ash versus the Evil Dead?
I did not.
I watched like 2 episodes, I think.
Okay, we watched the first season. We did not watch the second season.
It was amazing, and I should have totally watched it.
Yeah,
the first season was good.
That watch were phenomenal, and I'm kicking myself now why I didn't continue it, but
yeah,
that's a pretty common theme for a lot of these things now. It's because with the rise of those independents like Netflix, Amazon, and etc., there's so much good TV to watch.
Right.
So many good shows, and you really miss out on a lot because you just don't have enough time.
Yeah.
Unless you're a YouTube personality and all you do is talk about shows, which would be amazing.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Or you're my father-in-law who just sits and watches TV.
Well, there you go. Yeah, exactly.
I can't wait to be retired and I can watch all the TV I want.
Jubbin will be that person.
Right.
Just jack directly into your brain or something like that. There won't even be TV.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
2 quick things I had to mention, though, as far as movies in the last 15, 20 years or so that I really enjoyed a lot more than I thought I would. The Ring.
Oh, yeah.
And more specifically, the original version from Japan. I think it's Ringu, something like that.
Oh, you watched that?
Yeah. It's way weird.
Okay.
Way better than the Americanized version, in my opinion. But that actually really just got into the zeitgeist like crazy back in early 2000s when it came out. I was living in San Diego and everyone was talking about it. And it was just a great environment that I was in, watching it with a bunch of my friends. We had a blast with that.
That was the start of the whole Japanese horror uprising.
Crossover, yeah.
Yeah.
The other one that really killed me was The Grudge. And that was something that, even though I hadn't seen it in years, when I first moved into this place about 5-6 years ago, I had I don't know if I had eaten pizza or something for dinner. I had the most vivid dream where I'm sleeping on the edge of the bed and I flip over and the kid is standing there going, in my face. I think I might have peed a little. It was so scary. And I had sleep paralysis and everything. It was absolutely horrifying.
That was honestly one of the last movies to really, truly frighten me.
What, The Grudge?
Oh, yeah. The Grudge scared the pants off of me. And, like, the scene specifically when she falls or comes down out of the closet.
Yeah.
That part, I was just like, oh, no, because I have, like, a closet thing.
Yeah. But closet thing, a spider thing. We need to find a horror movie that has spiders in a closet.
Nope.
And then people that get sewn together, and then Joe will be happy.
What if we do a spider's ass to Sarah Michelle Gellar's face?
Yeah.
It's the human Grudge too.
Right. Yeah. But on sort of the not really topic of foreign movies that were great in their original form, but then got shitty American remakes, and sort of in the horror genre, Let the Right One In.
Oh yeah, I never saw the remake of it.
Okay, yeah, don't. It's
the original was so good.
It's okay. Like the remake is okay, but it was sort of like the Nightmare Before Elm Street remake that happened a couple of years ago. You just didn't need it.
Yeah,
you just didn't need it. It was fine. It was fine with subtitles. I was good with subtitles and Let the Right One In, and it was such
Come on, lazy Americans, learn to read.
Seriously, yeah.
It's hilarious. What about? Have you guys ever seen Brotherhood of the Wolf?
No.
Okay, so if you haven't seen this, you should look it up. I'm not sure how it's going to hold up, but it's an obscure French movie. But it's on one of those trips, kind of like, not really like The Witch, but it's something that's more of a whodunit kind of mystery, and they think it's like the supernatural beast, and it ends up being something different. But it was this movie I saw maybe in early 2000, and it really just completely captured me because it's basically like this tribal environment somewhere in the highlands of X country, mythological country, whatever. Mm-hmm. And these two strangers come to town, and it's a guy dressed in like some really weird kind of colonial era British clothing with his Indian guide. but then there's like kung fu style moves and flintlock pistols and like a saber-toothed cat coming out of nowhere. It's this amazing kind of horror thriller, whodunit, viscera everywhere.
Wow.
It's probably one of the best movies that I had never heard of that I just randomly watched on some service. It wasn't even service back then.
Yeah.
It was either on HBO or something like that, and completely mesmerized me. So if you have a chance to look it up, it's called Brotherhood of the Wolf, and I'm pretty sure it's subtitled because it's a French movie. But holy crap, I'm not sure how it holds up, but watch it.
I'll check it out.
Okay, that leads me to. I mean, and I wish we would have thought. I would have thought of this earlier. But I mean, we didn't really have time to prepare for this anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered.
Spoiler. They don't know that.
Well, yeah, well, I don't know. Now they know. What is your favorite? Like, because we have all the sort of the genre movies, the vampire, the werewolf, your Frankenstein monsters movie. What's your favorite werewolf movie?
Oh, I was just gonna go into zombie movies. All right, we'll go.
Okay, all right.
American Werewolf in London, hands down.
Absolutely, hands down. Yeah,
So.
yeah. Joe?
Underworld.
Ooh, good pull.
Interesting.
Or werewolf.
Yeah.
Werewolf. Fun
Werewolf.
fact, they remade that in 4K and it looks amazing because it's super dark, so you get all the definition through everything. It's
Yeah.
And talk about a hottie from my list.
Oh, yeah.
God, she could be a vampire for me any day.
You sure it's just not the leather tight outfit?
I don't care what she's wearing, Andy.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Put her in a burlap sack. Nate doesn't care.
Yeah.
She still looks good after several kids and more decades on the planet than me. Oh my God, she's gorgeous.
Yeah. So this is a total sidebar on our current conversation, but there was a story that came out a bunch of years ago, and we might have talked about this, I think, on one of the After Dark podcasts. But she, and I don't know if she's still married to what's his face, the director.
So Kate Beckinsale, for those listeners that don't drool over her all the time.
So her and her husband used to send dirty videos to each other when they were away from each other.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Come on, iCloud.
Yeah,
Oh wait, so no, didn't she date Michael Sheen?
Or Len Wiseman.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I don't know that she dated Michael Sheen.
No, because wasn't the whole thing Sarah Silverman was dating him, and her and Kate Beckinsale were like, they made a joke about like her Sarah Silverman stealing Kate Beckinsale's ex-boyfriend. I think they both dated the head werewolf guy.
You might be right.
Right. Yeah.
Kate Beckinsale divorced Wiseman in 2016.
Okay.
I don't see anything else on her at this point. Except for me in my dreams.
Oh,
well, I'm just still thinking about like dirty videos between Kate Beckinsale and possibly Michael Sheen.
Right. Yeah.
See those, please?
Yeah.
Ooh, but I just thought of something back to movies that got remade that really didn't need to.
Uh-huh.
Another Halloween staple for me, Fright Night.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. First one was fine. Yeah.
Yeah, even with David Tennant in the new one, didn't need to be made.
No. Yeah,
no.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, David Tennant as Chris Angel wasn't doing it for me. I'll take Chris Sarandon any day of the week.
Right.
Oh, wow, that's very specific. I want to go back to werewolf movies, though, because now I'm paging through this list. So, obviously, American Werewolf in London is on there first.
Oh, yeah.
What was the movie that had Jack Nicholson and Benicio del Toro in it, and it was, I think it was called The Wolfman, or
no, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was just called Wolf.
Or Wolf. There you go, Wolf. I really like that movie. I mean, what a way to put that kind of, horror genre on a more contemporary twist, and have the guy, it's the rich guy that lives by himself and he gets bit by a dog, and
you're right.
Werewolf, and yeah, that was a really cool movie. And then one from way back in the day that I thought was really cool was the Monster Squad. So that kind of goes across all of the horror genres, but that's where they kick Wolfman in the crotch, and he doubles.
Oh, that's right.
Wolfman's got nards. That was 87. So
that was great.
Oh my God,
it's a classic movie.
Yeah.
I actually liked American Werewolf in Paris.
Shame on you, Joe. Go take a lap.
I know.
She didn't say Twilight, okay? So let's give her the benefit of the doubt. I was shocked that she hasn't gone there.
Well, but we're talking about good horror movies.
Yeah.
Well, no, you didn't qualify that. You said favorite werewolf movie.
If we're talking romantic comedies, then I'll talk about Twilight.
Oh, good God. Romantic comedy. What about that movie is funny? She's got a slack jaw through the entire trilogy. Just, I can't even.
That's funny.
Thank you. I'll be here all week.
Yeah. I just always harken back to the very first time he sees Bella in the high school. That image is forever burned in my brain for some reason.
Oh my God, it's so priceless. And something that if we're going to talk a little bit more about werewolf stuff, I have one or two more. Teen Wolf.
Oh, that's a classic.
Yeah, not really a horror movie at all, but just as far as a werewolf movie goes, just, unparalleled.
One of my favorite scenes in that movie is after he does the initial transformation into the werewolf, and then it cuts to the dad opening the door, and the dad's all wolfed out in the gray. That's one, and I always laugh at that scene. It's just so great because he goes through this like crazy transformation and everything, and it's so funny. But then the dad's just there, and he's all wolfed out and everything. It's just
I was hanging out with his glasses on and his shirt.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah.
Okay, let's pivot real quick then. What about your favorite zombie movies?
Joe, go ahead.
No pressure.
No pressure, yeah.
Okay.
The first thing that came to mind was Shaun of the Dead.
Yes. Absolutely, yeah, 100%.
Oh, let's go to the Winchester and have a pint.
Yeah.
I actually saw recently a really, really good, I think it's Korean, zombie movie, The Train to Busan.
Oh, yeah?
I think it's on Netflix. Watch it. It is intense.
Really?
Yeah, it's, basically you get on a train and there's zombies on the train.
Oh,
and
nice.
You gotta live through this zombie-infested train. And
so are these like Walking Dead style?
No, these are like
28 days later.
These are 28 days later, fucking crazy.
Which we definitely have to
Infected
talk about for zombie movies because I love 28 Days Later.
Oh
yeah.
What about Zombieland?
I like Zombieland. I would say Zombieland is I would say it's top 10. I love the Dawn of the Dead remake.
Yeah,
that was so good.
That was good.
Yeah, it was Sarah Polley and Ving Rhames. That's one of my favorite movies.
What about World War Z? How'd you guys like that? Even though it's Bradley Pitt.
World War Z was just kind of there for me. Like and it was one of the things I always pick up on that in that movie, and it's like the only time I've ever seen it done in a zombie movie is when he wraps like the phone books around his forearms.
Yeah.
Like that's the one thing I get from World War Z. It's like, oh yeah, he was smart enough to put phone books around his forearms. Like,
that's pretty smart.
Right.
You know what's great about that movie is apparently there's a video game coming out that uses that zombie horde mechanic where they can like pile on each other and scale skyscrapers.
Oh God.
I'm really excited for that. I can't remember what it's called, but
yeah, that was like pretty much my main takeaway from that was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Very cool.
The pyramid of zombies.
Right. What about what was the other one I was just talking about? Resident Evil. Even though it's coming from a video game and it's not really zombies, but the first one was cool, but good God, they have beat that horse to death.
Yeah.
Pardon the pun. The horse to death.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
I think it's the most recent one Ken and I actually watched. And it was pretty darn good.
Really?
Yeah. Well, so first and foremost, you put Ali Larter and Mia Jovovich in a movie. I'll watch it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to not watch it.
Right. Regardless of what happens. But Resident Evil movies are guilty pleasures for this family at least. And you know what? We've seen each movie in the theater. Just because it's something that Jamie and I enjoy to do. It's been sort of a standing date, and it's funny that all these movies just sort of keep coming out because it forces us to sort of get out and go watch a movie regardless of how good it is. But no, and yeah, in the same vein, I loved the last one. The last one was great.
Yeah.
Nice. Right on.
Yeah.
So something that I watched recently that I forgot how much I liked was I Am Legend with Will Smith. It's the remake of Omega Man, the book.
That one I have not seen all the way through.
It's in my watch queue, so you can totally see it. But it was another one of those movies they remade in 4K HDR, so all the shots have detail now, and I love that movie. And it's
okay.
Not,
so what ending did you see on that? Is it on the remake?
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Joe hasn't seen it, so
it's okay. You can spoil it.
It's the escape through the tunnel inside the examination room, and he has the grenade and blows everything up.
Okay, all right. Watch the alternate ending on YouTube.
Okay.
And you will ask yourself why they didn't make that the original ending.
No shit. All right.
Yes.
See? I'm glad I brought it up. That's awesome.
I liked the book. I loved the the Omega Man was okay. And this was made at a time where sort of CGI was just starting to get good, but the sort of the CGI guys took it out. Took me out of sort of the action of this movie. And I do love the scene, again, spoiler alert, where he gets right.
Joe hasn't seen it.
Yeah,
okay.
Don't worry about it.
So but he gets where he gets knocked out and tied up.
Oh, right. Yep.
I love that scene. That scene is really, really good in terms of sort of tension and like, oh my God.
Right. Tells you a lot about what's happening on the
right.
side. Yep.
Yeah. So it's a classic. Yeah. But again, not one of my favorite, sort of representations of zombies or vampires, whatever you want to call them.
Fine.
So, on that note, favorite vampire movie?
Oh God. Once Bitten with
Jim Carrey. Hell yes.
Let's see. Best vampire movies. I mean, Lost Boys comes to mind, even though it's not like a crazy vampire. I mean, it's a vampire movie. Interview with a Vampire, I thought was cool. Bram Stoker's Dracula is probably my favorite.
Yeah.
How are those maggots, Michael?
How they taste.
I mean, then you can go into Blade if we're talking vampire movies, which I absolutely love. But Bram Stoker's Dracula is probably my favorite. Guilty pleasure vampire movie is From Dusk Till Dawn, all day.
Oh God, yeah.
It's the titty twister. Come down get a second pussy for a penny.
You find any better deal? Fuck it.
How about you?
Favorite vampire movie? Wow.
Your Google machine works.
Mine's got to be a tie between Interview and Bram Stoker.
Yeah.
Like Interview, the same as Bram Stoker's Dracula?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I do.
Riveting detail, Joanna.
I grew up watching those movies, so.
Yeah. It's hard for me to argue anything else other than those two. I really can't.
I like Underworld also. I mean, if we're throwing it out there as a werewolf movie, vampire movie, it has to be.
No, yeah, it's definitely both. My problem with the vampire versus werewolf movies is it's such a crutch is that it always focuses on the hybrid.
Right.
Yeah.
Or the forbidden baby between two, and which is the hybrid. But it's it always comes to that, and I want something more out of my werewolf versus vampire movies.
Yeah, my second tier vampire movies would be From Dusk Till Dawn and Fright Night.
Yeah.
God, I'm trying to remember the name. What was the movie that had? And I have to try and figure this out now. So it was the kid and his best friend. Oh, am I thinking of Buffy the Vampire Slayer? Maybe I'm thinking of that. That was a fun movie with Paul Rubens.
Oh my God! Yeah, how?
Yeah.
I not brought that up. That's another favorite of mine.
He's like,
yeah, right.
stairwell.
Yeah.
Ah.
Christy Swanson.
Yeah, man. Oh my God, I had such a crush on that girl back then.
Oh yeah.
What made matters worse is that we had a girl in my high school who started transferred in and looked just like her.
Oh wow.
Sat behind me in math class, and I was just petrified to talk to her. Just gorgeous, man. Oh,
Buffy's behind me.
I would never forget that as long as I live. The other one that's coming up on this search here that I think is funny is Vampire in Brooklyn with Eddie Murphy.
Yeah. You know,
as far as a different version of a vampire movie, I really enjoyed that. It was fun. I'll watch it if it's on for sure.
yeah, you know, he during that period he did a couple of genre movies, which I just love, and they are sort of guilty pleasures. The one where he was at the 1930s sort of mob movie that he made.
Oh yeah,
True. God, what was it like? I forget what it was called, but whenever it's on cable, I always watch it. I don't know why. Totally not a horror movie, totally off topic, but it was around. He made it around the same time. Like it was one of those were right next to each other, and yeah, there were two sort of weird genre movies that Eddie Murphy made that they didn't really do well at the box office, but yeah, they're total guilty pleasures.
Now it's gonna bug me until I figure out what that movie is.
Right.
Well, I just thought of
Harlem Nights. Harlem Nights.
Oh yeah, there you go. Well done. Yep.
Yeah.
But I just thought of a classic Halloween movie that I can't believe you, Mr. Tessie, did not bring up.
Hey, my last name should not be used. I'm just kidding.
The Crow.
What a vampire movie.
Or no, Halloween movie.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Vampire movie.
If there's a movie, no, it's not. If there's a movie that I would love to watch every year as a staple, it'll definitely be The Crow. It's
Devil's
hands
Dead.
down one of my favorite soundtracks of all time.
Oh yeah.
Just in general, I quote that movie still. In fact, earlier tonight, Smokes and Road Beers.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
This ghost gonna kill my ass next.
I love that. Oh my God.
Fire it up.
Right.
Yeah. All right. I think we've covered quite the ground of horror movies or Halloween movies, or sort of in the vein.
Yeah. Well done, guys, for next to zero prep. We killed that.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad.
Real quick, Andy, I know you guys watch American Horror Story, right?
Yes, we do.
Which is your favorite season?
That is a great question. I as much as I didn't like Freak Show, I have a soft spot for Twisty the Clown. Coven was one of my favorite seasons. And what was the other one? I mean, the Murder House, the first season was great because I don't know, just because that sort of started it all.
Yeah.
But then the Asylum one was really good too. So I don't know, if I had to pick a favorite season, I would probably say the Coven one was my favorite.
Yeah.
What about you?
Hotel, hands down.
Oh God, no, Hotel was fantastic. Yeah.
I haven't seen any of them. Sorry, I can't help you.
They're on Netflix, Nate. You should. Yeah. I mean, you should start.
I wish
if you have time.
Oh, so
after watching Who Made Who and Maximum Overdrive, I mean, and
yeah. Well, The Haunting of Hill House just caught me first episode last night, and I can't believe I was able to sleep.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna work my way through that, I think, and then the second season of Castlevania is live on Netflix now.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, I gotta watch that.
Oh,
yeah.
God, it's so good. I watched the first episode and was just like, oh, thank God it's a full season. I think it's 8 episodes instead of 4 this time. So.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, honestly, I've been kind of looking for a new anime to get back into.
Oh, definitely do that, because this season they introduce the other characters. Like it has Alucard and there's a mage and somebody else, and it's
awesome.
There it is.
All right. Well done. Ladies and gentlemen, another Rum and Regret podcast in the books.
And
there you go.
Yeah, we did the thing, guys. Congratulations.
Hey, hoppa. Break a glass.
Cuttlefish and asparagus or vanilla paste?
Yeah, so until next time, let us know what you think, guys. Write in the comments anything that we missed. What are your thoughts on the ones that we pulled out of our asses? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Indifferent?
Recommend things that we should watch?
Yeah, give us some feedback. It'd be great to hear from you. Until then,
Go fuck yourself, San Diego.
And on that note, there we go.